All right, your boy back with another Frank Ocean video. I'm not gonna make this every single occasion, but I did want to do this from last night when I saw the singles coming out. Shout out to KTT2. Now we got KTT2, who was informing the streets that it was on iTunes Music and eventually ended up on Apple Music as well. And I guess I should talk about the song later. I want to just go off in some of the things that I saw interesting, um, or thought was interesting in terms of a general album, record deal, music label deal, all that razzmatazz. So first of all, I think that Frank had an Apple deal since Endless. Endless was on Apple only. That Apple logo was in the stream at times. Um, I believe after it got finished, the construction got finished, and it was only on Apple for the longest. Blonde was out everywhere at the same time. I think I want to say it was out everywhere at the same time. It's a chance it might have been on Apple first, but obviously Blonded radio. I mean that's the Apple. That's the Beats One radio broadcast. So this whole Frank Apple deal kind of sucks at times when music is involved because like almost every time we hear music on Apple first. I know we eventually get it on Spotify and Tidal and all that later, but like it's kind of whack, you know. Just because I mean Frank isn't one of those artists that you want to be held down to a label or any specific service. I mean, Travis, you can live with Travis, Drake. I'm okay. I'm like me personally, I'm okay with Drake. I know Drake is a universal artist, but like if the Drake album comes out on Apple first, I'm kind of like. But Frank, I mean, that's kind of tough, you know. But it is what it is, I guess. Second thing I noted, really KTT2 had noticed, but I just wanted to find credible proof about it. So, as I've noted in my last video, when DHL came out, there's only 13 icons, and DHL was, I believe, this one number four, which I guess means it was number four out of the track listing or whatever he wanted to do with this, whether it be Mixtape Project or whatever, a pack. But now it appears that DHL is here, the first, I guess, lead single maybe, or the lead track at the very least, and then this new joint, which is, in my room. I guess I haven't mentioned the song name. It appears to be this, as you can see. It's a blown up cover. This is track five, and there are more tracks. So I guess this means that this album has now been extended, and now we have Channel Orange and Blonde have 17 tracks too. Um, I think it's interesting. I mean, 17 songs, that's pretty cool. Um, I actually didn't know they both had the same amount of tracks, so I guess maybe that's a general line likes to hit. If we go to Endless, there's an official Endless track list because it was released as a album at some point on his merchandising, his merch store, Boys Don't Cry. It has a CD format, so it should be an official track list. I know for a while we kind of touch and go with how many there are actually on there. So there's 21, but there's a ton of samples that kind of cut off, at times. So like there's like 11-second samples, 9-second sample. It's not samples, interludes, but it does appear for the most part. But this doesn't count as like an album in the traditional sense of an album. Last there right now it appears. Let me see. Okay. Is it not a track list? 14. Okay, so 14. I don't know. That's interesting. But it seems like generally 17 would make sense. I mean, 14 would be his lowest amount of tracks he's had on the project, period. So 17, okay, cool. But yeah, just expect a pretty big album if this is an album. Just a little tweet. Some dope visual shit. Could be another endless thing, but I don't see it. Uh, but it does appear that every track is its own entity based on the icons. Every track is its own thing. And not in the sense that every track has it's a different project entirely, but maybe it could be just a standalone track and compilation. But in any case, so I want to touch on the cover arts. So we have this right here. This is the cover art for In My Room, and then let's see, it might be here. Okay. This wasn't what I want to pull up. Oh yeah, here we go. So I believe, based on what I'm hearing musically and what I'm looking at, is that these are really very emotionally brazen. There's no touch and go with the sexuality on these projects. It's very brazen. It's very brash. I mean, you listen to DHL on my dick like a kick, um, suck me like a Hoover. I mean, etc. etc. That was a very raw. There's no. It's almost like a hip hop artist. There's no touch and go with the just the raw viciousness. It reminds me a lot of the Weekend, actually. And we come here, and first they kiss, then they bite us off. I guess his production has always been kind of dreamy, to where maybe the viciousness of his lyrics never hit like that. But it definitely seems that he's a lot more raw, and uncut. Pause on some of these tracks, talking very much about materialism. That's actually what this rap genius talks about: is braggadociousness, jewelry. Um, that kind of coffin don't need lean. Rest in peace. Richard Mille watches. Just it's going to be a different angle, I believe, for Frank. I think we're going to see him in his, and it actually would fit with the theme of this project, with giving this project no airs, just putting out tracks out there. It doesn't feel like the sonics are very important, but the songwriting, it seems to have taken a step back. I think it's going to be just a very, fuck you. Here's the project. That's what you get. There's no gift wrap. It's just raw. It's out there, and that could be coinciding with his old prep, the HIV thing. I mean, the act of homosexual sex is kind of raw and uncut, and the the stigma around it was very raw, so to speak. So it feels like a lot of things tying together, right? So my last big thing was that let's see, I wanted to find this. Oh yeah, this interview. So you see here, what are you looking at thinking about these days? I've been interested in club and the many different iterations of nightlife from music and songs. And so the things that I look at now, I do these scenes: Detroit, Chicago, techno, house, French electronic. And then we have strength and vulnerability sound opposite as words. And so to combine them sounds wise, but I don't know if it's wise. It's just a realization that hit me. It's gonna be like, here's my three things I expect to be on this project. And I think he gave us everything we should expect right here. Juxtaposition, just as you said right there, juxtaposition. A lot of electronic influences, and then a very big step away from songwriting. That's the importance of the project. I just said that earlier in one of my other points, but this track right here, in my room, very vibe based, just like the previous one. Very vibe. The sound is very important. I think his words mean a little bit more here than they did back then, but that was a longer track, so the words had to mean more. He was saying more, so it had to mean more. But this one, like the words, they're just simple. He's not saying much. He's just kind of flowing, really. I mean, this could be very similar to a rap song, honestly. And one of the big things, it sounds like a bounce track. It sounds like a bounce. If you listen to someone likened it to God's plan, which is the wrong. I would liken it more to maybe Summer Games. I believe it was the Summer Games, or In My Feelings. That would be more accurate. But it's definitely gonna be bounce influence. And if you listen to I believe it was Cayendo. Yeah, the Cayendo, the remix for Cayendo by Sengo, who also did the drums on this here too. He did a completely bounced. Like it's completely bounced track. Like completely, an influence just completely bounced. So I would definitely expect more of that in this. Electronic going to be a very heavy prevalence on here, and if you like Frank because he says very deep things like Channel Orange, something like that, this I think it's going to be a product for you. I think a lot of people. It's going to be very divisive. It's going to be the most divisive project, period, in my opinion. The most divisive period. I think Ian songwriting was big on Blonde, but the production was also incredible on that too. like groundbreaking production, and you know the lyrics also sound tight. So that felt like more of a step in this direction, but not even close to what. And it's like a canyon from that to this. And yeah, I mean, I hope y'all enjoyed the song. I liked it for what it was. I'm still not sure how much I like this concept of he's going with, but I'm here for it. You know, it's interesting. It is infectious. I just don't know if it's gonna be a classic, but we'll see. You know, hey, Frank knows what he's doing. He knows better than just about anybody how to make a classic project. So I'm gonna keep my eyes open and my mind blown